The transcension hypothesis and the afterlife. Afterlife prediction: you are part of a godlike mind. The transcension hypothesis is a theory that supposes the reason we haven't encountered alien civilizations is that they leave our universe. It was developed in 2011 by John M. Smart and builds off the ideas of John Barrow, who in 1998 proposed microdimensional mastery. This is the speculation that advanced, technological civilizations pursue ever finer scales of manipulation of matter, space, and energy. Building structures at the nano and sub-nano scales not only improves computational speed and data storage densities, but also makes computation more efficient. A computer operating at the ultimate physical limits of speed and memory looks like a black hole. Black holes are useful. They're the longest-lasting objects in the universe. They are also the ultimate power plants, heat sinks, and computers. They can even act as portals to the future. The transcension hypothesis predicts advanced civilizations enter black holes. They disconnect from our space and time, and in so doing, gain maximum computation for the mass and energy put in. Why would anyone choose to enter a black hole or cut themselves off from the rest of the universe? What's there to do inside a black hole? In a word, everything. The computational resources in a black hole offer knowledge of other universes and realities, insights about alternate histories and timelines, and provide for any imaginable experience. Computation is the ultimate tool for explorers. It allows one to explore any possible outer space via reality simulation and access any possible inner space, i.e. conscious experience, via brain simulation. While telescopes only let us see objects of our universe, computers let us peer into other universes. We can see and extract information about objects in other realities. Likewise, other universes that permit construction of computers can peer into our universe and observe us. Quote, "Maybe someday, despite current evidence, a means will be devised to peer into adjacent universes, sporting very different laws of nature, and we will see what else is possible. Or perhaps inhabitants of adjacent universes can peer into ours." End quote. Carl Sagan in Pale Blue Dot, 1994. Today, we have devised this means. In fact, simulation is now an indispensable tool for today's cosmologists. It allows them to explore and experiment with alternate universes and cosmic histories. Quote, "With the power of modern supercomputers we are now able to replicate cosmic evolution with great precision through simulations. So we are now able to make replicas of the universe in a computer, and this is a very powerful tool that cosmologists have developed in order to understand the universe." End quote. Carlos Frenk in What We Still Don't Know, Why Are We Here, 2004. Quote, "Computer simulation, like a telescope for the mind's eye, extends mental vision beyond the nearby realm of simple mathematical objects to distant worlds, some as complex as physical reality, potentially full of living beings, warts, minds and all. Our own world is among this vista of abstractly conceivable ones, defined by the formal relationships we call physical law, as any simulation is defined by its internal rules." End quote. Hans Moravec in Simulation, Consciousness, Existence, 1998. If the transcension hypothesis is right, advanced civilizations will be drawn to explore the unlimited potentialities of consciousness and possibilities of existence. This creates another possible afterlife. The transcension hypothesis's predictions for the afterlife. There are two forms of knowledge. 1. Third-person knowledge, knowledge that is shareable and communicable, knowledge that can be found in books, or stored as facts. For example, the population of Paris, or the height of Mount Everest. 2. First-person knowledge, knowledge that comes from direct experience which cannot be learned any other way, conscious and sensory experiences, emotions, and feelings. This knowledge is not communicable, it must be felt firsthand. For example, the smell of a rose, or the pain of a bee sting. A transcended civilization might use simulation to learn everything there is to know about the history, evolution, and biochemistry of apple trees, but without creating conscious experiences they would still know very little about what there is to know about apples. Such a civilization would lack first-person knowledge. They wouldn't know how an apple tastes to human taste buds, nor how an apple pie baking in the oven smells. They could have all the book knowledge there is, while remaining ignorant of rich conscious experiences. A civilization or mind interested in knowing everything must pursue not only third-person knowledge, but also first-person knowledge. This requires that it not only simulate everything, but be everything and try everything. After all, that is also where all the fun is. A superintelligence operating on a black hole or planet-sized computer could have the mental experiences of every living being that ever lived on an entire planet. According to Bostrom, such a computer could simulate the entire mental history of humankind by using less than 1/millionth of its processing power for 1 second. In that microsecond it could live out a billion-year saga, seen through the eyes of every person who ever lived, from each generation, tracing progress from the person who invented the wheel to the life of the first person who took the first step on the surface of the moon. Quote, "Do we find ourselves in a new body, or no body? It probably depends more on the details of our own consciousness than did the original physical life. Perhaps we are most likely to find ourselves reconstituted in the minds of superintelligent successors, or perhaps in dreamlike worlds, or AI programs, where psychological rather than physical rules dominate." End quote. Hans Moravec in Simulation, Consciousness, Existence, 1998. Quote, "Confession, if I love computationalism, it is because it entails the existence of many things not physically present, notably those incredible deep universal dreamers which keep losing themselves in an incredible labyrinth of partially shareable dreams, meeting ladders and ladders of surprises, self-multiplying, self-fusing, and which are partially terrestrial and partially divine creatures." End quote. The logician Bruno Marchal in Discussion List, 2011. If superintelligences exist with the aim of learning all there is to know, this knowledge includes all first-person knowledge, all experiences. Among the set of all experiences, is the experience of what it is like to be you in this exact moment. Accordingly, if civilizations transcend, then your current experience and life can also be explained as the exploration of a transcendent superintelligence, which may exist in this universe, if not another. Accordingly, when your life is over, you may wake up as a godlike mind, a superintelligence who has lived not only your life but the lives of every being who has ever lived. The idea that God knows every being's perspective can be found in many religions. In several it is stated explicitly. Quote, "To the Hindu, for example, God didn't create the universe, but God became the universe. Then he forgot that he became the universe. Why would God do this? Basically, for entertainment. You create a universe, and that in itself is very exciting. But then what? Should you sit back and watch this universe of yours having all the fun? No, you should have all the fun yourself. To accomplish this, God transformed into the whole universe. God is the universe, and everything in it. But the universe doesn't know that because that would ruin the suspense. The universe is God's great drama, and God is the stage, the actors, and the audience all at once. The title of this epic drama is The Great Unknown Outcome. Throw in potent elements like passion, love, hate, good, evil, free will, and who knows what will happen. No one knows, and that is what keeps the universe interesting. But everyone will have a good time. And there is never really any danger, because everyone is really God, and God is really just playing around." End quote. Warren B. Sharp in Philosophy for the Serious Heretic, 2002. Under this view, the world is a play, called Leela, and one entity plays the role of every actor. It is you are it, and it is everyone. If God is omniscient, then God must know what it is like to be you. How then can we tell whether you are you, or part of God's perfect knowledge of what it feels like to be you in this moment? This uncertainty about one's true identity was pointed out by Zhuangzi 2,300 years ago, in his telling of the butterfly dream. Quote, "Once, Zhuangzi dreamed he was a butterfly flitting and fluttering about, happy with himself and doing as he pleased. He didn't know that he was Zhuangzi. Suddenly he woke up and there he was, solid and unmistakable Zhuangzi. But he didn't know if he was Zhuangzi who had dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming that he was Zhuangzi." End quote. Zhuangzi in Zhuangzi, circa 300 BC. According to the transcension hypothesis, there exist minds with the experience of billions of lives. There would exist minds that know what it is like to be every creature that's lived on Earth, and minds that know what it's like to be creatures born to other possible universes. So if the transcension hypothesis is true, you are part of a God-like mind. When this life ends, you can awaken as this being, one in possession of the life memories not only of this life, but the lives of all others. For more on the transcension hypothesis, see, Are We Alone? And Can Life Survive the Heat Death of the Universe?